Hi folks, Rodney back again with Rodney's Northwest Riding Reviews. Got a new 2023 Tundra TRD PRO and just got the vehicle in today. I wanted to take just a couple minutes and kind of do a quick walk around on the vehicle before somebody comes in and swoops it up. This truck is available. Like I said, it just arrived. Somebody had a deposit on it and then couldn't afford the payment. So anyway, it's arrived. If anybody hasn't had the opportunity to actually see one of the TRD Pros in person, man, it is a beautiful truck. Get up close view here. You can see the camouflage that's embossed into the truck there. You got your LED light bar. You've got your clearance lights that you have to have. The truck's actually wider than the standard Tundra. I think it's like 1.5 inches wider. And part of it is, you know, the fender flares are wider. Which is the biggest issue, or not issue, but biggest reason that it has to have the clearance lights. You do have parking sensors, both front and rear. You've got the high definition LED headlamps. You've got the sequential turn signals. No, nobody's mentioned it in quite some time, but they still don't have the front tow hooks up front. Now these are the Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tires. If you look at them, they look like a regular Falcon Wild Peak, but the tread depth is not as tall as what it would be. I have BF Goodrich KO2s on my truck, and one of the things that I've noticed about this is that this has a little softer ride. Obviously the suspension's different, but it has a softer ride, and with that, you know, it's not going to be as harsh on bumps. But the second piece is that the tires aren't as heavy as what a KO2 would be. So you shouldn't be losing the fuel economy that you do lose with the KO2s due to the heavier tire. It's got the TRD Pro wheels. You can see your sway bars there. Let's see suspension there. Of course, these are going to have the TRD skid plate. Now this is only the second one that we've gotten in. The first one had the trailer tow mirrors, but to back up for just a moment, so this is going to have your panorama view monitor. So you're going to have 6 cameras. You got one up front, you got 2 on the back of the cab, you have one underneath both of the side view mirrors that you see here, and then you'll have one in the back, and I'll show you that here in just a moment. There again, you got the camouflage embossed into the fender flares. Now, a question has come up recently about the spray-on bed liner and why some of them actually say Tundra stamped into the bed and then others do not. One thing I have noticed is the one that have Tundra stamped in the bed, and I know this one's a little bit different, but others that we've been receiving have not had the 110 outlet in the bed. And so my thinking is it's probably coming from a separate manufacturer, and I think it's just whatever, you know, beds that they have to put in at the time. So the ones with the spray-on bed liner have been coming with the Tundra stamped in them, and the ones without have not. This one does have the LED bed lights. You got your 2 cameras on the back of the cab that I mentioned to you just a moment ago. You got more camouflage here. You got some up here. You got your red clearance lights. This is a light, so when you're backing up to a trailer, it makes it easier to see at nighttime. Your backup camera, 4-pin and 7-pin wiring harness. Do have your button that will lower the tailgate. And these tailgates are spring assist, and so they're very easy to open and close. Now, one of the things that I'm not overly fond of on the TRD Pro is that they have the TRD exhaust. And so it has the, I'm going to call it augmented or enhanced engine noise, which is a microphone on the intake. But then with the TRD exhaust, you get a little more note from the exhaust itself. And so it just doesn't quite sound right. On my Tundra Limited that I have, I've actually turned that enhanced engine noise off. And I guess the biggest reason I did, now it didn't sound bad, it makes it sound more like a V8, but that engine noise is coming right off the intake. When you can hear the exhaust note from the exhaust, and then you hear, you know, one of them sounds like a V8 and the other one sounds, I don't know, it's hard to explain, it's a little different. But you can go in there and you can turn that enhanced engine noise off where it would sound more like a V6, and you'd be able to hear the exhaust more. All right, inside the cab, you got your red stitching is going to be standard on all the TRD Pros. You got TRD Pro embroidered into the seats. This is it's funny, interest. It feels like Softex, but it has a unique smell to it. It actually smells more like leather, but I believe that it's just a Softex material. All right, you got your button here for your TRD light bar. You got your dome lights. The Safety Sense 2.5 is going to be standard on all the Tundras now. This one has electronic fuel door. The reason it has it is because all of the hybrid models are going to have the electronic fuel door. The gas models, unless you get like a Platinum or above, will not have that. This dims your panel lights, and I'll start it up here in just a moment so you can see what it looks like. You got your heated steering wheel. Of course, TRD is in the steering wheel. You got your red stripe there. Same thing with your gear shift selector, and then of course TRD on there. All right, let's hop in real quick. All right, just started up. So you do have your power folding mirrors. You do have memory seating, blind spot monitoring, and rear cross traffic alerts going to be standard on the truck. Once the vehicle is purchased, then they'll go ahead and activate the Remote Connect, which you're going to get a free year subscription, and then you'll be able to see the navigation that would come up here. As far as bird's eye view, so here's your bird's eye view. You can go in there and change the color to match the truck. And I know that still looks a little bit gray, but it actually is black. That's your view. Once you go in and put it in reverse, you got your parallel view on the side, then you got your backup. It does have the dynamic lines, so it makes it easier for you to see where your projected path is at. And then you can change it where, you know, anytime, and I'm going to go back for just a moment so you can see what I'm talking about. If you hit the auto button there, that will allow it to go on ahead and come on anytime you get under 10 miles per hour. And so then you've got different views that you can see. Underneath the side view mirrors there, this is the front of the vehicle. If you want to see inside the bed, you can do that when you're driving down the road. So, and then when you go into crawl control, it also has a different setting where the cameras will automatically come back on. Crawl control you can only activate once you're in low range. And then of course down here you've got your crawl control. You got your multi-terrain select. You've got drive modes here. And then of course tow haul. So when you change the drive mode, it's going to show up on the stereo screen. It also comes up on the dash right there. And then in tow haul, see that come on. Now the TRD Pro automatically comes standard with a digital cluster here. And so with the digital cluster, you can go in there and you can customize this right-hand side of the screen. So currently it's showing the turbo boost. If you wanted, say for instance, coolant temperature or transmission, you could get that to show up here as well. All right, it does have electronic emergency brake, so anytime you put it in park, it's going to set the brake. Anytime you take it out of park, it's automatically going to release it. You do have a hill start assist or brake hold, if you want to call it. Pull up to a stoplight. If you're sitting on an incline, you can go in and hit the brake hold, take your foot off the brake, and then once you step on the gas pedal to go ahead and take off, it will automatically release that brake. All right, you do have the digital rear view mirror. Let's say for instance you have cargo in the back, or let's say you've got people sitting back here and you don't have a very good view, then you can go on ahead and use the digital rear view mirror, which is a camera on the top of the cab. Panel sunroof, as I mentioned, all of the Crew Maxes are going to have the rear window that will go all the way down into the bed, or go all the way down into the back of the cab. The TRD Pros have unique floor mats, and they're going to have TRD Pro stamped in them, but like I said, the floor mats are unique compared to what you would normally get with just all-weather floor liners. You've got heated and cooling seats. You're going to have heated mirrors tied in with the rear window defroster. With this being a hybrid model, it's going to have an additional button here that allows you to turn that vents off that goes to the back. You're going to have a locking rear axle. You can get that with either a TRD Off-Road or the TRD Pro. Of course, traction control, your backup assist, and basically what that does, once you hook the trailer up to it, once that's been activated, and it will ask you to turn like several different ways, left, right, and then basically what it's doing is it's measuring the size of the trailer. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and activate your backup assist, and it will back up in a straight line. You just take your hands off the steering wheel, you operate the gas and the brake, and that's about it. The TRD Off-Road models will have the stainless steel brake pedals with the rubber stops on there, and of course you get that with the TRD Pro as well. You've got your integrated brake controller. You're going to have the TRD start button. And that is most of it. And you also have Toyota stamped into the bar there above the glove box. Home link is going to be standard. You do have some adjustments over here for the digital rear view mirror. You can close your shade there. When you open up the sunroof, just the front part of it's going to open up. The back part is stationary. And then you do have this net that comes up, so when you're driving down the freeway, it pushes that wind back up over the top of the cab, and it's not blowing the people that's in the second row seating. So that's just a real quick overview on the Tundra TRD Pro. It is a beautiful truck, rides smoother than a regular truck will. And obviously you have that off-road capability that the others don't quite have. TRD Off-Road is very capable, so if that's something that you're interested in but don't think you want to spend the extra money to get the TRD Pro, I would definitely look that route. So thanks again for watching. Appreciate you guys taking the time. A couple of things I do want to mention real quick.